Welcome back. There is a perception that relying too much on AI will cause your brain to atrophy, but what does some new research show? Dr. Sheryl Ziegler, as you see, is here to talk about it with us.
Let's talk about AI in our brains. I mean, I know what calculators did. I never added and subtracted again.
And spell check and
I know,
everything.
It's that. But what about AI?
Yeah, well, this is a legit study. This is MIT, UCLA, Carnegie Mellon. So this is a big study. And what they showed was that when people used AI from anywhere from about 10 to 15 minutes, that when they had to do a task afterward, they did worse. And a completely unrelated one even after. Because what happens is if you start to rely on it to just, write this paper, do this problem, and you don't put any effort in, they say our brains are like muscles. If you don't use it, you will lose it. And apparently you lose it kind of quickly.
Interesting.
Oh.
I wonder if it's how you interact with AI, because people use AI for different things. For instance, and we have done stories about this, my mother, who's in her 80s, interacts with Claude a bit to help her with a project she's working on, and that's interaction that she normally wouldn't have. So that I would imagine is helping her brain. But if you're asking AI to do something for you, that's probably not a good thing.
That's exactly right. There is a big difference. So really the suggestions are around, don't just ask it to do things for you where your brain is actually not really working. We have to keep our creativity up. We have to keep our own problem solving abilities up. That's really important. So things like, give me a hint about, or here's my idea, what do you think about this? The way you might be talking to a colleague about it is apparently a much better way to interact. So they were just saying in this particular study, when people just relied on it, just do it for me, that really immediately they started seeing the brain areas that would normally light up when you're problem solving not quite as active. And so this is really important because we have kids who have developing brains on AI. So these are probably adult brains. I'm pretty sure this wasn't on children. These were on adult brains. If you think about a developing brain, now we're talking about neural pathways that literally need to either be used or you lose them, literally. And the other thing is there's this idea of called cognitive offloading. And that's what this was really studying. Cognitive offloading is like, oh, Kim, I can't even think about it. You just do it. You just, tell me. But you're doing that with an AI bot who's going back and forth with you, and before you know it, you haven't put any of your own thought or, brain power into something.
Yeah, and that is the thing, I think, when you think of children in particular. So, I mean, a takeaway would be, like, get into a discussion with AI, question it, maybe discuss, how do you do it?
Yes.
It's helpful, but not hurting you.
Like having a rule of thumb. One rule of thumb is 30%. Don't do more than 30% of whatever the project is that you're working on with AI. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is don't ask it to completely do things for you. Be creative, use your own thoughts around it as well, and take breaks. You don't want to have these long periods of time where you're just interacting with AI. You need to take breaks.
Well, because you're not just interacting with AI, you're interacting with a screen.
Yes.
Of some sort. So that you're doing that too. And it's just,
I know. I really worry about
frustrating.
kids, like the basic things to learn how to write a letter or write an email or write a paper.
Even responding to the teens that I work with, they'll respond to texts that way.
Oh.
They'll anything they have to respond to, many of them are saying to me, well, I just had the AI do that. Even in social relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. So there's a lack of even showing up as yourself. Yes, there's a lot here with AI. We're all learning as we go along.
I guess before AI came along, my wife and I complained they weren't teaching script anymore.
I know, handwriting,
That's so far
We're
off.
way past that.
Way past that. All right, doctor, thanks so much.
You're welcome.